Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm excited to be sharing with you my new prayer journal strategy. Now I have been trying different prayer journals for years and it's been kind of hard for me because I pray regularly but I do not document my prayers regularly, and I really wanted a way to document my prayers regularly. Now I tried a beautiful prayer journal before. It was a 5-year prayer journal and I really loved it and I would love to use it in the future, but right now I just don't have the habit built of writing down my prayers every day like I would like. So I'm doing this right now because I found a really easy way to document them without a lot of effort. Now, a problem that I ran into before is I felt like I was getting really repetitive and writing the same things, which I think it's good to continuously pray for the same things, but I would write them all out every day. So for example, if I had a friend who is, let's just make a hypothetical situation here. If I had a friend named Sally and she was sick, she was really sick, then for every day while she was sick, I would hopefully be praying and writing that down. Well, you get a whole list of those and it starts to be kind of more time consuming to write it down than it is to actually pray it, if that makes sense for you. So I wanted something that was easier time-wise to document the prayers because I didn't want to spend as much time documenting as I did actually praying and spending time with God. So what I have come up with, and I actually can't take credit for this, I saw a girl's TikTok. I don't know if I can link TikToks. I'll try and link it. I just came across this on TikTok, but essentially what it is you don't continuously keep rewriting it, but it's a way to document every time you pray for it. And you can keep track of when you started praying for this specific prayer request, and when God answers it, then you can document that as well. So I am not going to show you my actual prayers because I feel like that's kind of personal, but I will just flip to a blank sheet of notebook paper here in the back of my notebook and just kind of do like a little diagram for y'all. All you need is a blank journal and your favorite pen, and that's pretty much it. I got this notebook at Target and I really enjoy it because there are different tabs. There's 5 tabs and I'm actually thinking about using the last tab to take notes, like sermon notes, but it's just really nice to have just a journal. You can use any journal, you can use scratch paper, but you're gonna want several sheets of paper, so just find a journal that you like. So I'm just going to flip to a blank page in the back. I'll just go to this last one. And draw like a mock-up so y'all can see, because like I said, I don't want to share all this, not just because it's my own personal prayers, but there's like personal information about friends and family. Now I do have 2 highlighters. You don't need them. All you need is just a journal and a pen, but I like to use my mild liner highlighters. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a category at the top. So I'm going to write friends and family, and I've already kind of started to fill up my actual friends page, and so I'm starting a second one, but you just write a header. Some ideas for this can include work, school, church friends, the world, our country. If you have a specific person in your life, like a husband or a friend who's going through a lot of really challenging times, kids, just any category, really whatever you want. I'm kind of lumping friends and family together. And so you want to write that at the top of the page so that you can find specific prayers easier. And then all you're going to do is go in and write the date at the top. So I'm just going to say 6/27/21. And I like to include the year just so if I keep this, I can look back. And then you just write the prayer really specifically. So I'm just going to these aren't actual prayers that I'm writing, but I'm just going to write out some examples for you. These are not real people. These are not real prayers, but they could be. So let's say you have a friend that's having surgery. Sally, knee surgery. And then you might write dash easy recovery. Right? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not good at writing and talking. okay, let's write the date, 6/27/21, and then you could be like, I don't have an Aunt Hannah, but you could say Aunt Hannah, and then you write a dash, anxiety, and then you could write, let's do a new date so they're not all the same. You could do like 7/2/21, so that's July 2nd. You could be like, sister, new job. Okay, so there's 3 examples. So you don't have to write them all, but just as you think of things, or things, really for me, what I'm doing is I'm taking a few minutes to document what I have been praying. So maybe what I prayed for last night before I fell asleep, or what I prayed for while I was in the car driving this morning. So you just kind of write, you add in new ones, and you'll have several of these different pages for different categories. And then if it's something you've been praying for, again, like if you've been, you know, worried about your friend Sally's knee surgery, you go in and you circle it. That was not a pretty circle, and there's a smudge, but that's the beauty in it. And so you want to kind of space them out so there's plenty of room. And let's say for a 3rd day you're praying, so you circle it again. And then you get all these circles for all the times that you're praying over this one thing. And then, oh, look, Sally has recovered from her knee surgery and she has been released to go back. So you're going to write in the date that happened. So let's say it's August 16. Now I chose to use my pink highlighter, 8/16/21. This prayer has been answered. So this is mostly for prayer requests. It's not really as much documenting praises and thanks and gratitude to God, but I'm sure there's a way you could do that as well. You could even have a tab and just maybe like write in. I was not documenting praises, but you know what you could do is just have one over here, praises, and then you could just, if you have a line journal, you could just do like the date, 6/17. I'm just writing a random date here, and then you could be like, new job, and that's a big praise, but you could have a smaller praise. So 6/18/21. Slept in, feel rested. So you could just do a few keywords. So I wrote slept in, feel rested, but what you might actually be praising God for is the time that you had to sleep in, or the, you know, just being able to do that. So you could do anything. You could just list them and you could do that. I haven't been doing that, but I might incorporate that, which is really nice. And then you've just got this. So the idea is that you'll have several of these. You could have one for work, and you could include prayers for coworkers or just things that are happening at work. One for school, and you could write in like a new test coming up. Anything really. And it's just nice because you can see all the circles, and that's like, oh, another time I prayed for this. And it's a nice visual without having to rewrite the prayer every single time you document your prayers. So I just thought that was nice. And I do want to give a huge shout out to the girl who I originally saw on TikTok. Like I said, I'll try and link her below if I can. If not, I'll mention her name in the description box, so make sure to check that out. Okay, and that is it. I hope that this has been useful for you. It really has been for me. And my hope for myself is that I will continuously do this. I'm not doing it every day. A lot of time I find myself praying in the car, or when I lay down to go to sleep at night, kind of in moments of silence when I'm not actually able to write. But I'm wanting to take a few minutes, hopefully every day. But with this, it's okay if I miss a day, and hopefully I can build that habit of writing the prayers that I'm praying to God down every day, and can transition back to that beautiful 5-year prayer journal that I have, because I do think it would be nice to look back and see what I was praying for. And what I may do is use the 5-year prayer journal to kind of just write a few top requests and praises, and then use this for all of it, because there's just like 5 or 6 lines, and so I might continuously use this, but then write down like my top few in my prayer journal. I don't know, it's not dated. I can date it. That is one thing I really like about the 5-year prayer journal. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos.